Hello, I am the cartoonist M. Rashid. This cartoon was inspired by a tweet or a retweet by one of the ADOS activists. Let me read it to you. He was retweeting something that one of the black immigrants tweeted. And the immigrant said, in conclusion, if African Americans had generally assimilated Africans back then instead of acting weird, the alliance would have worked. However, because of what happened, Africans decided to treat African Americans as if they would any enemy African tribe. So then we all focus on what interests us. And the ADOS activist was like, revision based on projection. I ain't buying it. And another black American came in and said, if we assimilated, the fuck? This is Cleveland, not Ghana. Black immigrants and their first, second gen kids are doing everything to copy us, not the other way around. So what stood out to me was when the immigrant said, if African Americans had generally assimilated Africans back then instead of acting weird. So let's explore that. Based on history, the immigration policy was amended after the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 65. The immigration was amended as the counter to that. Because if you remember the 1972 Gary Convention, the next logical step after those acts was we needed to push for black representation in politics, and each black representative pushing our black political agenda towards the things we need. That's the logical step after those acts. So to keep us from doing that, they brought over these black immigrants whose sole purpose was to erase, replace us, to muddy the waters and pretend to be us, and then use their support from the white supremacy to steer everything in a different way. So that's why, affirmative action and like all this stuff that they could use for themselves. No specificity to me. They doubled down on zero specificity for the people who needed it the most, and turned all of our work into catch-all, all-American, every American can use this, while the rhetoric from white racists was that I was getting specificity. Even right now, there's white supremacists saying, that they already paid for my reparations for all the welfare that we get. But welfare is not a specificity item. It's for all Americans. It's a lift every boat thing. But they keep saying, even though every single poor white is on welfare and committing fraud in it, and they all about that life, even though this is a definitive truth, when they run their mouth, they act like only black Americans are getting welfare and looking stupid in the process. Every single thread that comes up, they say that dumb shit, especially in reference to reparations. That's their go-to response to be stupid with a straight face. So this character, the immigrant, is using assimilation weird to me, and it stood out. I'm like, huh? Revisit that. Let me tease it again. If African Americans had generally assimilated Africans back then instead of acting weird. So that's what I'm caricaturing. What you're saying doesn't, you're showing up with a completely different idea of what's actually going on here. based on however way you were briefed by my enemy. And you smoothly partner with him against me. So whatever he briefed you on when you showed up, that's how you projecting at me. I'm trying to be free. I'm trying to be the protected class I deserve to be, to have the damage done to me by generations of accrued discrimination repaired and made whole. So nothing of what you're saying makes any sense compared to my history struggle in my country that I built. So immigrants showing up, running their mouths from their alternate reality narratives, deserves to be ripped apart and thrown back in their face viciously, because that disrespect from alien people who, when we met, you sold me to the European trading companies. And it doesn't matter if it was you specifically or not. You are all hive mind, flat black in that concept. You all show up as immigrants partnered with white supremacy, no matter where you come from. So you own all of it. If that's the stance you're taking, and every single argument with the ADOS activist looks that way, you look nasty, viciously nasty, like the lackey and support class of white supremacy. You look nasty in it. And your broken English spin jobs of stuff look dumber than theirs. Ignorant. Vicious. And not worth taking seriously. It's worth stomping out and throwing in your face with full force. So, on guard. I'm on guard. Peace.